Okay, now I'm going to write my report here in the visual aid so that later I will start my report. Good afternoon everyone, especially to my instructor, Sir Raul Timanono. I'm John August, PA student, and now I'm going to tackle my report was about the theories related to the learner's development. Number one, Sigmund Freud. It has three components of personality: ID, ego, and the superego. And five, psychosexual stages of development: oral, anal, phallic, latency, genital stages. Sigmund Freud it have three personality and five psychosexual stages of development. The three personality ID is ID, ego, and the superego. ID refers or represent from birth. Ego develops from the ID and ensures that the impulse of the ID can be expressed in a manner acceptable in the real world. Superego holds the internalized moral standard and ideal that we acquire from our parents and society. And the other is the five psychosexual stages of development. Number one is oral stage. Oral phase and the normal infant has a direct bearing on the infant activities during the first 18 months of life. And number two is anal stage. Focus of the libido was on controlling bladder and bowel movement. So number three is phallic stage. Focus of the libido is on the genital, begins to discover the differences between male and females. And number four is latency stage. Children develop social skills, value, and relationships with peers and adults outside of the family. The number five is genital stage. The individual develops a strong sexual interest in the opposite sex. Then number two is Erik Erikson. It has 8 psychosocial stages of development: infancy, early childhood, preschool, middle childhood, adolescent, young adulthood, middle age, and old age. Erik Erikson have its psychosexual stages of development. Number one is infancy. Age range is 0, 1, and 1/2 years. Baby, birth to walking. Number two is easy childhood. Age range is 1 to 3 years. Toddler, toilet training. Number three is play age. Age range is 3 to 6 years. Preschool, nursery. So number four is school age. Age range is 5 to 12 years. Early school. Then number five is adolescent. Age range is 9 to 18 years. Puberty, teens. So number six is young adult. Age range is 18 to 40 years. Courting, early parenthood. Number seven is adulthood. Age range is 30 to 65. Middle age parenting. So number eight is mature age. Age range is 50 plus old age grandparents. And the next is number 3, Jean Piaget. So it have 4 stages of cognitive development: sensory motor, pre-operationals, and concrete operationals, and formal operational stages. Jean Piaget, it have 4 stages of cognitive development. Number 1 is sensory motor stage. Birth to 2 years old, the infant knows the world through their movements and sensations. So number 2 is pre-operational stage. 2 to 7 years old, this is the tendency to focus on only one aspect of the situation at the time. So number 3 is concrete operation stage. 7 to 11 years old, this is an understanding that something can stay the same of the quantity even though of it works difference. So number 4 is formal operation stage. 12 and up to years old able to think abstractly and understanding the form of structure of a mathematical problem. So number 4, Bronfenbrenner Urey. It's a bioecological system: microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and the chronosystem. Urey Bronfenbrenner is have a biological system. So number 1 is microsystem. The system closest to the person and the one in which they have direct contact. Some example: home, schools, daycare, at work. So number 2 is mesosystem. It purposes that children don't develop only by influence from their close familiar environment. Environment surrounding environments are influential on the development of the child as well. So number 3 is exosystem. Refers to one or more settings that do not involve the developing person as an active participant, but in which event occur the effect. So number 4 is macrosystem, composed of the children's culture patterns and values, specifically their dominant beliefs and ideas. So number 5 is chronosystem, made up of the environment, events, and transitions that occur throughout child life, including any socio-historical event. So number 5 is Vygotsky. So on language and zone of proximal development. Scaffolding, MKO, and ZPD. So Vygotsky, it have the scaffolding, MKO, and ZPD. Scaffolding is help the learners to effectively acquire skills, more knowledgeable other. Then MKO is somewhat self-explanatory. It refers to someone who has a better understanding. So, zone of proximal development, as CPD, independence problem solving, and the level of potential development as determined through problem solving under adult guidance. So number 6 is Lawrence Colbert's pre-conventional. Lawrence Colbert, it has 3 levels and 6 sub-stages of moral development. 3 levels is pre-conventionals and post-conventionals and post-conventionals. It has 6 sub-stages of moral development. Number 1 is obedience and punishment orientation. Focuses on the child's desire to obey rules and avoid being punished. So number 2 is instrumental orientation. It shows a limited interest in the needs of others only to the point where it might further the individual's own interest. So number 3 is good boy, nice girl orientation. Children want the approval of others and act in ways to avoid disapproval. So number 4 is law and order orientation. The child blindly accepts rules and conventional because of their importance in maintaining a functional society. So number 5 is social contract orientation. The world is viewed as holding different opinions, rights, and values. Number 6. And last, universal ethical principle orientations. Moral reasoning is based on abstract reasoning using universal ethical principle. And that's all. Thank you.